we brought in Edge first. So Edge was always like the leader. So maybe just the way we set it up, maybe if we would have brought Christian in first, it would have been completely flip-flopped, you know?
Stevie Ray used to call people yaks and fruit movies.
Stevie Ray's too funny, bro. Stevie Ray's too
real fast. Vince hooked me up with Stevie Ray, and it was like a real pleasure to talk to him because we were possibly doing Houston, so I wanted to collaborate with him or get him involved somehow and stuff like that. And he talked to me for an hour and 45
minutes. Oh, yeah, he loves to talk.
And I was in my car with the thing, and like I'm sweating because I couldn't put the car on, and I'm like starting to twitch when I'm sitting somewhere, getting anxious. And it was an engaging conversation, but I'm like, I had no out. I had no way. Like, preface the conversation. Yeah, I got to jump in a meeting in 20 minutes.
Yeah, he loves talking, man. Stevie Ray loves talking.
Oh, I got to use the bathroom. I'll be back and never come back. Just stay right there. All right, let's talk about Throwing Down Memory Lane. What are your earliest memories of working with Edge? Vince Russo. Did you ever see him? Did you think he would be a top star? And did you see Christian in the same light?
Man, that's weird, bro, because, you know, me saying no, I never saw Christian in the same light because Christian was never in the same light, but I never did for some reason, you know, not you know, I don't know, bro. Maybe it's just the way we brought them in, and we brought in Edge first. So Edge was always like the leader. So maybe just the way we set it up, maybe if we would have brought Christian in first, it would have been completely flip-flopped, you know?
Wasn't Christian like the bitter brother? Like, didn't he like stand some, like, if I remember, it was like he just stood like by, like in outside of the ring for a moment and kind of distracted Edge or something like that. And kind of like a rival at first before they went to the Brood.
Yeah, but so the focus was always on Edge from the beginning. So maybe if it was the other way around, they would have had the opposite careers. What's his deal, bro? Is he still working for AEW? Is he hurt or something?
Christian? Yeah, he was hurt for a while. He recently came back. He's still a mega heel in AEW. Like, he's getting some huge heat, doing a really good job as getting some heat there. I'll share my thoughts on the Edge versus Edge Christian, you know, dynamic. What do you think, East? What do you think about Edge and Christian? Was Edge an inspiration growing up for you?
Yeah, they both were. I mean, I remember early developmental, and I'm a new guy, and there's talks like I'm doing goofy and funny things during promos, and one stooge for Dusty Rhodes, I'll keep him nameless, is trying to give me this like spiel. He's like, well, you know, funny doesn't make money. And I was like, 5-second poses made a lot of money. And he went, well, you know, not that. And I'm like, well, the 3 eyes made a lot of money. And he goes, well, no, not that. And I'm like, Poontang Pie made a lot of money. And he's like, so up yours on that one. Edge, I was just watching, I actually watched wrestling today because I was re-inspired. I was watching Edge and Rey Mysterio versus Benoit and Angle from 2 out of 3 Falls SmackDown matches. It's so good. Like, they're so good. And when I came back to NXT, I did a podcast when Edge and Christian had the podcast, and we had a very engaging chat, and it was very inspirational, and it was like a super honor, super privilege. Edge was an inspiration, but I would say, based on my personal experience, Christian was more so. Christian, when I was in developmental too, or we did this season of NXT, I had to get knee surgery. I'm coming back, so I'm training back at the FCW facility. Christian was also hurt. And so Christian would come in and, you know, he'd roll around, but he kind of knew me. So he said, hey, do you want to get in the ring this one day? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. That'd be great. And in like 3 hours working with him, I learned more than I learned in years in developmental. Like we did like an hour Broadway, and I'm working with Christian for an hour in front of nobody. And it was just a surreal experience, and just picking up the intricacies and the timing and these great things he does so well. Like, it was truly an honor. He was a great, great dude. After we did that training, guess what? he took me to get ice cream. So Christian, Edge, both inspirations, and I wish them the best. So they're
very nice.
Christian's heel run when he was working with Orton too, or his champion run where he kept kind of getting it taken off of him. I go back and watch those matches, and just like the pacing and the way they execute false finishes is like, it's art.
Yeah. I see Christian's like an unsung hero to me, man. You know, he's just, there's a lot of, because Edge made such a presence for so long and he was in different, you know, angles, you know, feuding with Shawn, you know, feuding with Cena, feuding with Taker. He had those big name feuds. But to me though, man, I've always been a Christian guy, you know, when it comes to Edge and Christian, because I always wish that Christian would have had an opportunity to have a bigger presence in the main event scene than he did. He had a lot of mid-card, you know, major mid-card feuds, but I wish he would have had more presence.
Oh, I'll tell you what, though, to be honest with you, Chris, and this may have been the reason why, because I know how things work in the WWE. Bro, I worked with him at the WWE, and keep in mind, him and Edge were just newbies, so they didn't say anything. You know what I'm saying? Bro, by the time he got to TNA and I was working with him at TNA, bro, he was so hard to work with, man.
Was he really?
Oh, and bro, this I want to make one thing clear about what I mean by this. What I mean by this, because I don't dislike Christian at all. I'm talking about from a working relationship. And Chris, the only reason why I'm bringing this up is because I know if this is how he was in his later years at WWE, this might have prevented him from what you're saying. Bro, he was such like a perfectionist that he would just overthink everything. Bro, you got to understand at TNA, bro, because they were on such a tight budget, bro, we were filming like, my God, bro, we were filming like 8 shows over 2 days. So, bro, when I'm telling you there's literally dozens of pre-tapes, you got to go like nonstop, bro. And then every time you would come to him, I swear to God, bro, it's like he, you know, like he was doing Hamlet. And, you know, everything had to be so perfect. And it was like, I used to get so frustrated because it's like, bro, we don't have the time for this. Like if this were the only thing we were doing, no problem. But our schedule doesn't give us the time because, you know, bro, it's funny, man. You can poke a hole in everything if you want to. I mean, so if I give you something and you just think it through and over analyze it, bro, you can poke a hole in anything.
Yeah.
And he was he was just one of those guys that it was like, bro, we got to go. Like we've got to do this. Let's go. And I'm just saying, bro, like if that was his attitude over there, it ain't gonna work, man. It's just not gonna work.
I can see that being the case. I know people in WWE currently and have been for a while, and I've heard that Christian can be hyper over analytial.
Yeah, bro, and like I got no hero whatsoever. Good guy, never had words or nothing like that. But it's like, man, we just didn't have the time, bro. You know, there comes a point. I mean, EC3 knows, man. When you're a TV, bro, and you're working against the clock,
yeah,
gotta go, man. We've got to go.
Do you think he focused on that more than making his character really work for the crowd? Or was he so focused on the wrestling and just laying out the whole?
No, I'm talking, bro, strictly character.
Oh, strictly character.
Yeah, I'm talking with his promos and what he had to do in the back. I am talking 100% character work.
Do you think he was just very protective of his brand and what he built?
Absolutely. And bro, I get all that. Trust me, I get all that. But there comes a time when bro, we got to go. Like we got to do this. And, you know, I mean, bro, you know, let's be honest, bro, I'm working with 25 other guys. You know, like I can't be spending 3 hours on you and, you know, Kurt's waiting over here.
Gotcha.
You know, so it was just, man, it was just tough.
You can definitely tell by his matches and how really good they're laid out.
No, absolutely.
He's a thinker,
bro.
for sure.
Absolutely.
I heard Savage was like that too when it comes to really over analyzing. Just
I mean, Austin was like that to a point, but bro, I got that because Austin had, bro, he got so over in such a short period of time that, like, in his mind, I can lose this just as quickly as I got it. So, like, I understood him overanalyzing. But even Austin, like, over time, you know, we built that trust where it you know, it slacked off with Christian. It just never did.
You know, the chase for perfection could be an asset, but it certainly could be a detriment too.
100%, man.
Overanalyzing things, like especially in pro wrestling. I mean, I don't know if this is similar, but like I remember those marathon days in TNA, and like sometimes you just like, this is going to be B+ material, or this is going to be adequate at best, and you had to do it.
Yeah.
But there are times too when you're not in control of what's actually going to see the light of day and the public will see, that you have to be protective, because oftentimes somebody who's not in the know or doesn't recognize quality is going to use something that's subpar. And I can remember this, like in 8x10s I would take, where I'm like, oh, those pictures are terrible. And, you know, I'd go away, then they'd be the flyer picture or the promo picture. I'm like, oh, why did they pick that? To the point where someone would take pictures, I'm like, you got to delete these. These are just dreadful.
Yeah.
And, you know, so that's a little bit of a pain in the ass. And I remember going back to NXT that same day with the maroon suit. I did a promo for .com afterwards. And, you know, there's a couple stoogey yes men writers, and, you know, it's 3, 2, 1 action. And I cut this promo like scathing, pipe bomb-ish, like just pure fire, like one of my better works. And I was just like crushing it, killing it, love this promo. And they were like, cut, wow, that was really good, but could you do another take? Because I don't know if we said this and this, and I can run it by Trips, but if you don't mind, can you just do another take so we have it in the bag? And I did a take, and it sucked. It was the one I get mocked for it still. It's like, do you see this logo? Like I was thrown off. I did this subpar promo, and I let it stay because I figured, well, they're going to see this one's way better.
Yeah.
H never saw it. The dude never asked. He just played it safe, and he picked the one that wouldn't possibly get him in trouble for producing, as opposed to the one that could have made me, you know, viral star. So, like, that's why I would tend to be, I understand that, but at the same time, you know, you got 30 guys, you're doing 8 shows, you got to go.